As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Sanderson.
It seems that you have been living two lives. One life, you're Jimmy A. Sanderson, a safe, responsible student of a respectable shop teacher. You have a student number, you pay your fees, and you help your mommy carry out the garbage. The other life is lived in danger, where you go by the slacker alias Rico, and are guilty of virtually every shop violation we have a rule for.
One of these lives has a future, and one of them does not. I'm going to be as forthcoming as I can be, Mr. Sanderson.
We need your help. We want you to show us the proper way how to conduct yourself in the shop.
First step in shop safety, always wear safety glasses. Next thing, no loose clothing. That includes the tie.
When using the bandsaw, we keep all of our safety equipment on. We never put our fingers in the path of the saw blade. We never put them in front. When cutting, our guidepost height should be roughly a 1/16 above our material. We can adjust it with this screw on the back. When cutting our materials, we never want to cut on the line. We want to leave roughly 2 millimeters away from the line to leave room for sanding after. When cutting tight radii, make sure to use many relief cuts to not put stress on the blade and burn your material.
Go teach them how to use that saw and wear your safety glasses.
Start off with, you got to make sure your blade, which is protected by the guard here, is at the right height for whatever board you're cutting. It has to be at least a 1/4 inch above. Do not ever touch the saw while it is plugged in. You want to unplug the saw. We do that if we are changing the blade or checking the blade, so it is safe to touch. You must keep the guard on at all times to protect yourself from flying debris or kickback. Keep all loose clothing and fingers out of the path of the blade. When you are working too close to the blade, use push sticks. One to feed the board through, and one to hold your board tight to your fence so you get a straight line.
How close should my hands be to the blade before I use a push stick?
6 inches. One last thing to remember when using the table saw, do not stand behind the blade. Always stand to one side of the blade at all times.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you basic shop safety for using the miter saw. You want to have your piece of board up against this guard. You do not want to have any gaps. You want to have it nice and tight up. For a miter saw, you have a bunch of different angles you can cut at. From 0 to about 50 degrees here. It's great for miter joints when you want to do that. You can also cut the piece of wood at another angle on the y-axis. You can cut it from 0 to 22.5 degrees, like so. When you want to use the miter saw, you want to stand with your legs shoulder width apart. You want to have your hand firmly on the trigger. When you want to safely cut, there are a mark on the miter saw that has a little hand with a cross through it. You don't want to put your hand in that area. If you have a small piece, you want to use this clamp. It just fits on the back of this, and you just make sure the wood is nice and tight against the guard. You tighten it down, and then stand back and come down and come back across. And that's basic safety for a miter saw.